And we're back. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another ability draft analysis. I am KarmaKnight. I will be your guide today. There's a tiny possibility Stargate will be joining me a little bit later, but I don't know if that's happening or not. I brought you today's game because it is a beautiful face stomping. My face is the one that gets stomped on. I randomed my second pick and have Surge instead of a good ability there. Surge is, fine, but not what I wanted. Anyway, we've got a Bounty Hunter, we've got a Mirana, we've got a very support-built Razor, we've got a Tinker with a confusing build. I mean, he's got some good synergy between the Invis and the Inkswell. Anyway, let's watch these fights over the runes and talk about what we see. Mirana's going to be very helpful with the rune by hanging out at tower. Sven with no stuns is going to try to steal our rune. Razor with all the stuns is going to cover it. I'm sure Tinker will grab it. What could possibly go wrong? Well, the arrow could miss. Void grabs this rune. This idiot Darkseer is sleeping. That's me, I was sleeping. And doesn't even try. Mirana is too busy dancing with the tower and doesn't even try. We are off to an extremely questionable start. Let's check out the lane matchups. I like doing this at the beginning of these videos. And we will start with bottom, where we have a Sven. Sven has kind of a nuky build, an Astral Step. I'm not sure why you would go caster on Sven, and this is a bit of a random smorgasbord of caster stuff. Personally, I hate it. He doesn't have any of the Bounty Hunter's synergies to make sure it can toss good. He doesn't have like the natural mana pool to support this easily. Sven has a whopping 1.3 int gain, so he has to buy all of his mana this game. Yeah, I hate this build. I don't know why you would do this on Sven. Get some right-click abilities, bro. In lane with him, we have a Refresher Orb Void Spirit with passive movement speed to refresh. I'm confused by this. I don't know why this was a pick. Dissimulate with Refresh is, like, good, I guess? And Laser with Refresh is fine. It's kind of a wonky caster build. Not sure why he took Refresh. There wasn't really anything worth going for with it. And he has ended up with a couple spells that are fine to refresh, but not that great. It's barely going to be worth the mana, in my humble opinion. And the cooldowns are like not that long to refresh anyway. Would have loved to see, a stun with Refresh. Anyways, on the other side, we have a Tinker. I started talking about this build a little bit. There's a really nice synergy here. He hasn't skilled the Inkswell yet, but hopefully that'll happen sometime soon. Inkswell and any Invis is fantastic. Makes it really easy to land stuns. I remember being pretty frustrated this game because he kept throwing the Inkswell on himself and trying to run in when I was already closer to them. I don't know why he wouldn't cast the Inkswell on me when I'm the one with reactive armor in this lane. Speaking of which, this Darkseer has reactive armor and Stroganoff of Fate. It almost worked out a few times, but we had a pretty bad time this game. And despite our lane going okay early, other things went poorly elsewhere. Speaking of elsewhere, we've got a nice matchup mid. There's a Hoodwink with Hoodwink abilities, Scurry and Bushwhack, also a Silence, also Wall of Replica. That's going to give him normal punch eventually. This build is like pretty decent. It's got a lot of utility. It's got the mobility, it's got a disable, it's got a silence, it's got some bonus damage. It's not the beefiest thing I've ever seen, but it's fine. It's a good build. We have a Razor with the best support build. It's a nice Ags build. He's going to be able to teleport in and double stun with Stormhammer into RP. I love it. His arrows are going to drop Starstorms. I just wish it wasn't on the best body for right-click carrying on our team. Anyway, up top, we've got Meepo. One singular Meepo. Oh, somebody died. When did that happen? I feel like we should pay attention to that. Backing it up until there's not a death. How long ago did this happen? It was Mirana. It was top. What do you know? So Meepo gets very low. And Mirana goes for it. But as you can see, there's an ion shell on this Darkseer, and that's going to let him pick up that first kill. He's going to get forced out by the static link. But that'll only slow him down for a minute. So, as we were saying, we have a Meepo. Let's bring it back up just a little bit. Meepo's got a pretty decent support build. At least it's on an Intel hero. You can see he's immediately building toward his Rod of Potatoes. I like this plan. This is much better than a casty build on a Sven, just because, you know, Meepo has Intel gain. 1.9. I mean, it's better than 1.3 anyway. This is also not a body with like a ton of great options to right-click, so seems like an okay decision. If anything, just supporting this Timbersaw with Ion Shell this game was huge. Having some survive and some escape and a nice strong nuke. Yes, this build works out. Let's skip Timbersaw for the moment. We've got a Bounty Hunter with a pretty great melee build. I like track, Janata combo, especially on Bounty Hunter. I like being able to static link and run at people. Seems solid. It's a pretty decent right-click build. Uh-oh, Bounty Hunter died. On Mirana, we've got a very committed right-click build. Ransack, unfortunately, is a garbage ability. It's 18 bonus damage. If you're not keeping Fiery Soul up with this, I don't know why you would ever pick it. Greater Cleave God Strength on Mirana body is fantastic. Like, I love that. But she's going to have a rough time this game. Arcane Orb, she just doesn't have the mana cost to support this. 20% of your mana pool means, you know, 4 or 5 hits in, you're just not really doing damage with this anymore. Wraithband is a good way to start this. I'd love to see this with like a Mask of Madness into a bunch of big agility items and a Satanic eventually. But yeah. Decent right-click build on Mirana. No crowd control, no escape, unfortunately. Not much versatility, but just for laying down damage, this build certainly has potential. For flash farming with Great Cleave, this build certainly has potential. And last, but not least, the man, the legend, with both of his team's kills so far. It is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. I didn't count that on my fingers. Shut up. I will be calling him 1, 1 for short. I'll be calling Meepo Lucky because he's got this sweet all sevens name. Did you see that? This. I don't know what those symbols actually are or what they mean, but they look kind of like sevens to me. And 4 sevens is lucky sevens in Final Fantasy VII, so we're going to go with Lucky. And 1, 1 in the top lane. You can already see where this is going. Let's turn on net worth. I like doing that next. What? Timbersaw is way out in the lead. Meepo and Sven are having a bad time. A mid laner this low is a little concerning. Void's doing great. Bottom just picking up last hits, lasering range creeps. I'm doing pretty well. Just blasting range creeps with Stroganoff of Fate. Being able to stay alive with the reactive armor. But like, up here, this guy's just way ahead. He's at 2910 compared to the next highest net worth on Void, who's at 15.3. And then his first opponent, me, at 16.2. Like, he's killing us on net worth. And if I haven't talked about his build yet, let me do that. He's Timbersaw with Flux. Essence Flux, which means infinite mana to spam Timbersaw abilities. That's really all this build has going for it. Now, he also has a 6-minute Vanguard, along with like other starting items. So this guy's last hitting is obviously top-notch. His lane control is obviously top-notch. We actually, as a group, re-queued immediately after this fight, this game, and matched with these guys again, and got super stomped on again. Yeah, look at that. That was from no mana a second ago. right? Like, oh, that was way too far. Timbersaw currently has 0 mana. Effectively 0. 24 mana. Does Meepo get boots? Like, what happens here? Yeah, he gets booted. And then just gets off a full combo. He doesn't get booted. Does he eat a tango? What even happened there? Oh, he uses his wand. He uses his wand to get one spell off, and then that just lets him combo. And since he's already got Vanguard, he's just like, oh yeah, I'll just tank some tower hits, chill under your tier 1, no big deal. Meanwhile, we fail a ganked bottom. Somebody got a kill somewhere. I wasn't paying attention. Who was it? Let's see. We got a kill on our side. Tinker got a kill. Maybe this gank wasn't a complete failure. Looks like Sven went down. Backing it up. Moving it up. Moving it around. We just saw this fight. Yeah, down here our Razor shows up. And I'm sure he's going to get some stuns onto this Sven for us. Big old RP to start. Starstorm. Follow-up arrow is a whiff. Sven goes down. Tinker just barely gets out thanks to Bottle. I just barely get out, run him from the tower, and Razor doesn't quite have the move speed to catch this Void, which is too bad. But yeah, we got a kill bottom. That's great. Things are going fine. This game's fine. Everything's fine. We're not totally screwed. That puts me and Tinker firmly in second place with combined net worth, which is higher than Timbersaw's. But yeah, he's at almost 4K, and we're each just barely over 2. Oh boy. What do you guys think about me casting games where I lose? Am I just super salty? Does this all come across as a terrible rant? Because that's not my intention. I don't mean to just cry about getting stomped. Like, I don't mind losing a game sometimes. My team had left top, and I was like, I'll go up there and fuck with it. I'm sure that'll be fine. I've got reactive armor. What could possibly go wrong? And I just show up and get exploded. Meanwhile, Timbersaw does Timbersaw things. Throwing chains. Throwing chakrams, doing that buzzsaw thing, whirling death. This is all off effectively no mana. It's a really interesting leveling scheme. Apparently Timber Chain is the business when you're Timbersaw. It's like medium pure damage. That's fascinating. I never would have played this way. Never in a million years would I have built this build or thought like, oh, you know what Timbersaw needs? It's just all the mana in the world and he's great. I also don't really play Timbersaw. Look at this Meepo. Getting the sweet D-ward in. Nobody's blocking camps down here. That's interesting. I often like blocking some camps when I ward. Oh man, check that out. True Sight ward just directly into vision. Meanwhile, I get the old Banish Hoodwink ult combo, and turns out this is very strong. Just pop somebody out of the game for long enough to channel up a nice hard Hoodwink ult and pretty much guarantee land it. Meanwhile, Timbersaw can just, do Timbersaw things and dive super hard. Here comes Mirana to save the day with that whole being banished thing. Hey, look at that. Timbersaw goes down. We do things as a team. Tinker lands a stun. Razor lands a stun. He doesn't get away, does he? No, Mirana cleans him up. Yeah, great. Look at this amazing comeback. Mirana's got some net worth now. I have suddenly dropped all the way to the bottom of the pile. I don't want to talk about it. But it seems like maybe if we teamwork, we can do things. Oh look, Timbersaw's level 9. And is absolutely a wrecking machine now. Just spamming abilities and at full mana. Not getting anywhere close to low on mana. Preempting my escape with Chakram. Oof. Meepo and Sven show up. Now, despite having Essence Flux, he goes for multiple mana items. This is interesting to me. I feel like with Essence Flux and all these low cooldowns, you like really just need the mana pool. I don't know if I'd have gotten the Void Stone. But maybe it is definitely the right play, and based on his score, he obviously did something right. Meanwhile, there's a glorious battle going on bottom. That wall of replica kill, though, sure makes moving and getting away hard. Hoodwink goes on the Razor. Sven goes on the Razor. The vacuum is going to be just enough to pull Razor back into the fray. Tinker with the stun. Totally doesn't save Razor. And now there's a bunch of them bottom. Meanwhile, up top, Darkseer is desperately trying to get back in this game money-wise, but has fallen absolutely to the bottom of the pile. He is 0-3. It's a rough game for that guy. Try to be nice to him. Speaking of being nice to Darkseer, if you're enjoying this video, go ahead and hit that like button. That would be awesome. I would appreciate it immensely. If you want to see the draft or hear about the scoreboard after the fact, go on and pop over to Patreon. Support the channel there. You get access to some additional content. And I would appreciate you even more. I appreciate you anyway, don't worry. But if you wanna, that would be great. Oh man, check this guy out. He's got his freaking Lotus Orb up. I guess that's what the ring went into. So now we can't stun him, can't hurt him, and he's just really running away with this. Meanwhile, Darkseer wishes he was cool. Hey, speaking of wishing Darkseer was cool, if you want to do some cool things and hang out with me on Tuesdays and Thursdays, I stream on Twitch. You should come by sometime. It would be great. And meanwhile, Timbersaw pops his Lotus Orb right in time to stun Racer under our own tier 2. And despite doing what I would generally consider overstaying his welcome, he just chains right out of there. Continues spamming all those beautiful spells. Did you see that kill? That one had like a really great bit of timing to it, where he lets the Chakram sit on this bounty hunter long enough to get some damage in before he pulls it back so he can just kill him with Chakram. It's really impressive stuff. You think Tinker's gonna get out? Oh, nope. Here comes the Chakram, here comes the Chain Whirling Death combo. He's all good and leveled up now. He's actually leveling Flux last. That's interesting. I mean, he's at full mana after a huge fight, so obviously there's enough in Flux that it's fine. Man. So I think a big part of this game was that we didn't have any strength heroes, and he built tank and is already the tankiest hero on board, second arguably to Sven. I don't know. How does that work? Gains 3.2 strength per level. Sven gains 3.2 strength per level. Okay, so they're comparably tanky. But, like, that's a huge part of this and very unfortunate, and it just happens in ability draft sometimes, where one team doesn't have any tank. No strength heroes, no sustain in fights, and when you end up against a bursty team, when your composition is like that, man, it can be brutal. This game was one of those. Just, what were we going for there? I'm confused. I don't know what that was for. Spent the whole game trying to talk this guy into doing the thing with the thing, and he wouldn't do it, and he does it on Razor. This guy being Tinker, and the thing with the thing being casting Inkswell on me so I can run at people. My reactive armor. Oh man, this one, he gets juked so bad. I was like, we got this. I ult, and he just totally gets juked and whiffs the stun. This guy's got Scurry. He gets out with ease. Oh, look, and Oneone is picking up more kills mid. You guys want to see how that just went down? Let's check it out. Sven is warding. Bounty Hunter goes on him. Oh no, it was over here. Mirana is doing the creeps thing, trying to get some farm in with that sweet, sweet cleave. And Timbersaw just catches her with no life. Unstoppable. At this point, Oneone is 12-1. His friend Meepo is 6-2. Oh, look, he did catch that bounty hunter. What do you know? His net worth is still like 50, 60% higher than the next player. And like, you can just run at people and spam all the Timbersaw abilities and never run out of mana. I get blown up. Razor gets blown up. Yeah, look at that sweet Soulbind, followed up by not much. Dive just goes deeper and deeper. That's a triple kill. Godlike. A godlike triple kill. Now he's 15-1. Meepo also picked up another kill here. As you can see, this one is a rough game. Razor gets all the stuns in under the T2, and it is just not remotely enough to get through this guy's 2,000 health with a Vanguard. I believe he goes for Ags after this, but like, he just went for tankiness to make up for not having reactive armor. And Flux lets him spam so hard that like this build is real scary. I'm not really a Timbersaw player, so I wouldn't know what to do with this if I drafted it, but something to consider is good nukes and Flux. Good spammable nukes and Flux makes for quite a build. Alright, we're at 17 minutes. Let's see where this game's at. 4 out of their 5 players have taken over the net worth. This Sven is struggling a little bit, and if you recall at the beginning, I did say this build is kind of wonk. And despite having all the mana items in the world, I think he's still struggling with mana just a little bit. Haven't been monitoring that too closely. Last place on our team is me. I am having a bad time. I've picked up, you know, a little extra strength, a little extra move speed, just trying to get to, I don't know, Radiance? That's probably going to go for Radiance. I feel like reactive armor, Eye of the Storm is a great reason to go for Radiance, but like, I am 0-6 and just not getting anywhere this game. Do I change my mind at some point? I don't know. I don't remember. But it's not going well. Oh, Stargate will not be joining us. How sad. Alright, meanwhile, we got a defense mid where somebody just got blown up by Hoodwink. There's a Dust, there's a Banish. Timbersaw runs me down, just tanking 3 towers while he's at it with Ion Shell and all of his Timbersaw stuff. Gets on the Razor. Will he get the kill? Oh yeah. Oh yeah, he will. He got that Ags. Now he's got 2 Chakrams and unlimited mana. Meanwhile, Mirana holds stop against 0 people. The one lane we have pushed out. Darkseer tilts a little bit and complains. Razor finally takes the bottom of net worth. He's got agility treads and a wand with all of his charges. He's got some wards. He's got a bottle. I hate seeing wards on our Razor. I don't mean to rant on this more, but like I wish he'd gone carry build here. Might have helped. Maybe not. I don't know. I wish I'd been a more successful tank for our team. Like, this pick was disastrous, and if I'd maybe gotten something to help me survive better, things might have gone differently. Maybe not. Third from the bottom, our safe lane carry, position 1 with all of our farm, has agility treads and a broadsword. Will he make it to Battle Fury before the game's out? I don't know. Maybe. Also, down in the gutters with us is Tinker. with some null talismans and some crowns and another bottle. Always good to have multiple bottles on the team. That can't lead to conflict at all. Leading our cause is the Mighty Mirana. Great Cleave is a cleave. She went for a Maelstrom. This pick is terrible. This just needs to be like attack speed and crit. She's already got all the damage in the world. She's already got the AoE from Great Cleave. Maelstrom is the wrong item on this build for sure. And on the enemy team, coming in last, Hoodwink is building crit and lifesteal. That's what I like to see on right-click carries. Arcane Boots make sense considering how expensive all these effects are. No Shard at 20 minutes. It's a little bit surprising. I figure you would want normal punch, but might be struggling with getting farm. We already talked about Sven. That leaves Void. Building another rod of potatoes. Man, they are looking to have a lot of rods on this team. He's able to just stand there and tank the full bounty hunter setup. 117 damage stolen. He's able to just stand there and tank it without much in the way of survival gear. That's fascinating to me. I feel like bounty hunter should have done some damage there. He's 13. Bounty hunter is what? 10. So he's got a few levels on him. Anyway, his build is progressing nicely. Getting mana on the rearm build makes a lot of sense. Timbersaw rakes in another kill, or at least secures another kill. Meepo's the one that actually got it, but those chakrams did all the work. Speaking of Meepo, Meepo went for Meteor Hammer. I love Meteor Hammer with Astral Imprisonment. That is so solid and so rude. He's got all these big abilities that he can line up super easily off the Astral Imprisons. And he's got Ion Shell to throw on Timbersaw. Like, what a great build. It is very solid. He's playing a great support. I'm impressed. He's got the Ags for the improved Ion Shell. Carrying around wards. Dewarding us. Dewarding us? Not dewarding us. Oh man, that banish into the big nuke. Like, what a fantastically simple and secure kill. That banish into the big stun, into the big nuke. Like, what a great build. And of course, we have Timbersaw. He's got Traps and Ags. He has disassembled his Vanguard. I don't think I've ever seen somebody disassemble a Vanguard. I didn't even know you could do that. Now, remarkably, for the end of this game, he kind of just buggers off and decides to jungle. Like, I don't understand that decision. He's 21. He's 21-1. We are so on the ropes. It's 41-8 right now. Like, everyone on our team is losing. Couple kills on the Razor, a few kills on the Mirana. Everybody with just a mountain of deaths. Two of them decidedly doing all the work. But, like, I don't get the decision to back off and farm and, like, maybe give us some time to start closing the gap. Anyway, as I say that, they go high ground. Timbersaw makes extremely aggressive plays. Stands under tier 3s and tier 4s and is just fine. Because he is a big, thick boy. That seemed like it had to be a kill, right? But nope. It was not. Bounty Hunter almost makes it out, but the Meepo's kind of taking over the game now that his build is online. And again, we have the Timbersaw who's buggering off to the jungle for a little jungle camping. We still have T3s. I don't know why they're not being more aggressive. I really don't understand. They're up 27k. Like, Timbersaw is more than doubling the closest net worth on our team. This is it. It's good. You don't need to get any stronger. Looks like he's getting ready to go for Sange and Kaya. Ah, that's why. Turn the Ring of Health into an Eternal Shroud. And with all this casty nuki damage, makes sense. Is there magic damage on our side that he's worried about? I don't know. I can't fathom being worried about anything on our side. Oh, he also has his Ags and his Shard. Like, yeah, this guy's rich. But why jungle? Why? Why not just end right now? His team is here, like looking for the uphill battle. Finding it. Okay, here he comes. Chakrams for the Bounty Hunter. Lotus Orb dive. Flamethrower for me. Can he get more than that? Apparently not. No interest in hitting towers. So, it occurs to me that this was in fact extremely frustrating. Where we were so far behind it wasn't fun to play anymore. There was zero hope of a comeback. And our enemies decided to camp the base. Get more kills. Not right-click on the towers. That may sound a little ranty, but we were all good and salty by now. These two scores are absolutely the tale of this game. The Timbersaw build is gross. The Meepo build is really strong too. I did a video on a similar build to what Meepo has, where it was Imprison. No, what's it called? Not Imprison. Instead of Astral Imprison, it was Naga's Net ability. Ensnare, that's the one. And that was also like just phenomenal for setting up the boomerangs and the sharpshooters. Beyond godlike with a double kill. There it is with the Meepo and the killing things more. Timbersaw does all the things. Gets stunned for a little while, but there's ample time for him to get his spell cooldowns up after that banish. Doesn't have to dive high ground. Where are you going, Void? Void TP's all the way home after the apparently very intimidating Razor buyback. Timber goes and bungles in the jungle a little more. I just don't get it. Like, the rest of the team is here pushing towers. Oh, look, Void came back. Oh, he's got the refresher things. Oof. Another big snipe on the Meepo. Finally, they rack spot him. I mean, we're 28 minutes in, and this has been over for like 18 minutes. And yet Timbersaw is like, I'm gonna go jungle. If you see me doing this, and I do sometimes, please call me out on it, because like this is just the time to be ending, not the time to be leaving your poor team to wonder where you went while they're stuck trying to high ground. I mean, with this much of a lead, they're obviously not going to have too bad of a time at it. Meepo is really just having his way with our team. Which is hilarious, because like Timbersaw got the game to this point. Enjoys a triple bounty rune. But like, we're all dead. I don't know why he's not here clicking on towers. Maybe he's mad at somebody on his team. Anyway, I'm going to speed this up just a little bit. There's not much left to see at this point in the game. They base lock us. They get a bunch of kills at Fountain. Endgame status. Sven points out that we're all dead. Got himself a Mask of Madness. Interesting. Oh man, that was cool. Wait, let's watch that again. Razor attempts to fight the Timbersaw right here. Timbersaw gets up his Lotus Orb. just in time after the stun to bounce both himself and the Stormhammer back onto Razor, and then he just does all the Timbersaw things and Razor melts. Fantastic. The laser pop plus standing in front of Timbersaw kills the Darkseer. Tinker whiffs the stun. The double chakram gets the kill. The big snipe gets the kill. There's a buyback. Maybe she can save us this time. Oh, such buybacks. I'm sure it's not all in vain. I'm sure we're not going to be base camped until these freaking neutrals eventually end the game. I'll give you a hint. We're going to be base camped until neutrals end the game. Ooh, I know where I'm going for my thumbnail. That Lotus Orb. That Lotus Orb combo. Big old snipe from outside the base. Well, if you have made it this far, I hope you had more fun watching me get wrecked than I had getting wrecked. This game was brutal and like not fun to play in. We had such a bad time. This Timbersaw and Meepo absolutely just mopped the floor with us. Congrats to them. And be sure to commend these two players if you play with them, because they're pretty solid. They're pretty solid. Anyway, they just continue sniping us in Fountain. Apparently, if you just stand perfectly still, you won't get sniped in Fountain anymore. And finally, they get the kill. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. Good luck, have fun, don't die. I will see you in the next one. If you are a patron, stick around. We're going to talk about the scoreboard next.